A sea serpent is traditionally described as a gigantic snake-like marine creature believed to inhabit the depths of the world's oceans. Unlike ordinary sea animals, sea serpents are portrayed as elongated, powerful beings with coiling bodies, mysterious heads, and sometimes dragon-like features. For centuries, they have occupied a unique place in human imagination, representing both fear and fascination. From ancient civilizations carving their images into stone to sailors whispering tales aboard wooden ships, sea serpents have remained one of the most enduring legends associated with the ocean. The idea of a monstrous creature lurking beneath the waves arises naturally from humanity's relationship with the sea. The ocean has always been vast, dark, and largely unexplored, even in the modern age. For ancient sailors who navigated without technology, every unexplained movement in the water carried the potential of danger. Sea serpents became a symbolic explanation for shipwrecks, disappearing vessels, and strange sightings that defied rational understanding. Over time, these stories evolved, blending real observations with myth, fear, and imagination. Sea serpents are not tied to a single culture or time period. Legends describing massive serpentine sea creatures appear independently across civilizations, separated by geography and history. This global consistency suggests that the sea serpent is not merely a fictional monster, but a shared human response to the unknown depths of the ocean. Whether viewed as gods, demons, omens, or animals yet to be discovered, sea serpents continue to intrigue researchers, historians, and storytellers alike. 2. Mythological origins. Sea serpent legends originate deep within ancient mythology, long before scientific explanations of marine life existed. Early humans relied on storytelling to explain natural phenomena, and the ocean, unpredictable and deadly, was often personified through monstrous beings. Serpents, already powerful symbols on land, naturally became the chosen form for creatures of the sea due to their sinuous movement and association with danger, wisdom, and chaos. Across civilizations, sea serpents were not merely animals but cosmic forces. They represented the boundary between order and chaos, life and destruction. Many ancient myths describe heroic gods or warriors battling giant sea serpents, symbolizing humanity's attempt to impose order upon an uncontrollable natural world. 2.1 Ancient Middle East and Mediterranean. In the ancient Middle East, some of the earliest recorded sea serpent myths emerged. One of the most famous is Tiamat, a primordial sea dragon from Babylonian mythology. Tiamat represented the chaos of the original ocean and was eventually slain by the god Marduk, who used her body to create the heavens and the earth. This myth firmly establishes the sea serpent as a cosmic entity associated with creation and destruction. Similarly, Ugaritic texts describe Yam, the god of the sea, often linked with serpentine imagery, and Tannin, a sea monster symbolizing chaos. In Jewish tradition, Leviathan is a colossal sea serpent mentioned in biblical texts, described as a creature of immense power that only God can control. Leviathan embodies divine authority over chaos and the terrifying unknown. Greek mythology also contains numerous sea serpent-like creatures. Cetus, sent to punish humans, was a massive sea monster defeated by Perseus. Scylla, with her serpentine lower body, haunted narrow straits and devoured sailors. Hydra, though land-based, shared many serpent characteristics and reinforced the symbolic power of snakes as near-immortal beings. These myths reinforced the idea that the sea was not merely water, but a living realm filled with monstrous guardians. 2.2 Norse and Northern Europe. In Northern Europe, sea serpent mythology reached epic proportions in Norse tradition. The most famous example is Jörmungandr, the Midgard Serpent. According to Norse mythology, Jörmungandr was so large that it encircled the entire world, resting beneath the ocean and biting its own tail. The serpent was destined to battle the god Thor during Ragnarök, the end of the world. This myth reflects the Norse understanding of the sea as both a source of sustenance and a realm of immense danger. Scandinavian sailors frequently reported sightings of massive serpents in cold northern waters, reinforcing folklore that already existed. In these regions, sea serpents were not just legends but expected inhabitants of the ocean, feared and respected in equal measure. Across mythologies, sea serpents consistently symbolized chaos, boundary-breaking forces, and the limits of human control. They embodied humanity's fear of what lay beyond the horizon and beneath the waves. 3. Historical sightings. While mythological sea serpents were symbolic, historical records suggest that many people genuinely believed they encountered such creatures. Sailors, explorers, and scholars documented strange sightings long before modern marine biology existed. These accounts blurred the line between myth and reality, turning sea serpents into possible living creatures rather than purely imaginary beings. 3.1 Classical and early accounts. Ancient writers attempted to record the natural world as accurately as possible, but their understanding was limited. Poseidonius, a Greek philosopher, described a massive serpent-like creature washed ashore near the Levant, reportedly measuring over 100 feet long. Although such measurements may have been exaggerated, the account indicates that unusual marine animals occasionally appeared in shallow waters, shocking observers. Aristotle, often considered the father of zoology, referenced strange marine creatures that did not fit existing classifications. While he did not explicitly describe sea serpents, his writings suggest that ancient scholars were aware of unusual oceanic life forms that defied explanation. 3.2 16th–18th century reports. During the Age of Exploration, reports of sea serpents increased dramatically. Sailors traveled farther than ever before, encountering unfamiliar animals and extreme conditions. In the 16th century, cartographer Olaus Magnus published maps filled with illustrations of sea serpents, whales, and other monsters. These images were based on sailors' testimonies and served as warnings of dangerous waters. In 1734, Hans Egede, a Danish missionary exploring Greenland, recorded one of the most famous sea serpent sightings. He described a massive creature rising from the water, with a head resembling a horse and a body longer than his ship. The creature reportedly dived beneath the waves after several minutes, leaving the crew terrified. Egede's account was widely circulated and considered credible at the time. 3.3 19th century sightings. The 19th century became the golden age of sea serpent sightings. Newspapers eagerly published eyewitness accounts, and the public consumed these stories with fascination. One of the most famous incidents occurred in 1848 aboard HMS Daedalus, when multiple crew members observed a long serpent-like creature swimming alongside the ship. The captain estimated its length at over 60 feet, with a visible main or dorsal ridge. Another notable event occurred in 1845. When a supposed sea serpent skeleton was displayed in New York. Thousands paid to see it before scientists determined it was a fabrication constructed from whale bones. Despite debunkings, public belief in sea serpents remained strong. 4. Scientific explanations. Modern science does not support the existence of giant unknown reptilian sea serpents. However, scientists acknowledge that many sightings were likely based on real animals or natural phenomena misunderstood by observers. 4.1 Known marine animals. One of the most commonly cited explanations is the giant oarfish, a long, ribbon-shaped fish that can grow over 30 feet in length. Oarfish rarely surface, but when they do, their serpentine appearance can easily be mistaken for a sea monster. Whales also contributed to sea serpent legends. A line of surfacing whales can appear as a single undulating creature, especially from a distance. Additionally, whales entangled in fishing gear or seaweed may look elongated and unnatural. Another explanation involves giant squids, whose tentacles and massive size were once considered mythical. Before specimens were studied, their existence itself was questioned, demonstrating how limited knowledge can create legends. 4.2 Misidentification and perception. Human perception plays a major role in sea serpent sightings. At sea, distance is difficult to judge, waves distort shapes, and fear amplifies imagination. Stress, exhaustion, and poor lighting conditions further increase misinterpretation. When combined with existing myths, observers may unconsciously shape what they see to match what they expect.